I'm trying to go live.
Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah, all of Israel. Shalom Yahweh Shem Allah Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Once again, it's the Isupk Las Vegas. We start out at 1 West 125th Street in Harlem, New York. And we are commanding General Yohana.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you didn't know, this class is for so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for them to be edified, for them to learn this truth and to get the wisdom and the knowledge of our forefathers and foremothers. You understand that they had to endure this captivity that we are in America.
That's right.
And if you're not someone that thinks you're in captivity, just look at some of the things that's going on around you under this current presidency and the previous presidency, these things that happened before. There's nothing new. It's just being, the so-called devil that the Bible speaks of is just deviling even harder, you understand, in 2025, as you can see with our Hispanic brothers and sisters, you understand? If you like what you like these type of broadcasts and want to continue to get edified, please like and share the broadcast for you. You know what I'm saying? Go subscribe to all of our all of our social media accounts. I'm gonna share the class one time right now. Give me a second. I ask that everyone do so as well.
Damn right. And if I could, man, once again, this is the Isupk Las Vegas law class. We're gonna make it our business every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday at 612 South Jones Boulevard, man. From 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. to go into this Bible and show our people how we ought to deal with our current conditions, man. The book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4 tells us that the things written aforetime were written for our learning. You see what I'm saying? That's the point. The Bible is a history book. You want to know why? Because Moses went through it so that we don't have to go through it. Because Nehemiah went through it so that you don't have to go through it. Zerubbabel went through it so that you don't have to go through it. Isupk went through it so that you don't have to go through it. Jesus Christ has gone through it so that you do not have to go through it. You see what I'm saying? And that's exactly the reason that we read these stories, man. Because like the other one said, we are people that are oppressed in this land. We are people that are hated. We are people that go through all manner of absolute hell. And when you are a people who has had your culture and your traditions taken from you, man, you don't know how to cope with your problems anymore. You're going to cope with your problems the way your enemies tell you to cope with your problems. And that's the reason that we can't get right today. That's the reason that we can't have successful relationships, successful marriages. That's the reason that our children grow up. Our boys want to live alternative lifestyles, and our daughters want to be whores. Because we are people that have been destroyed, and the only medicine for the wounds that have been dealt to our spirits is right here in this Bible. Right here in this Bible. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to read, man. We're in the book of Nehemiah. You know what I'm saying? And this is an absolutely amazing story. If you're not familiar with it, me and Officer Picard, we've been going over this for a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? And today we're going to be finishing out the story. We're going to figure out exactly how this beautiful story ended. Nehemiah was a brother who led a revolt against his oppressors during the times of King Darius. You see what I'm saying? This is after the fall of Nebuchadnezzar, and when King Darius was in power, this was a brother who did everything that he possibly could in the times of Persians and the Medes to make sure that his people had a place of solitude, to make sure that his people had a place that they could call home, to make sure his people had somewhere safe to raise their families. So,
damn right, man. Like I said, in these times that we in, we have to go back to the things that happened aforetime, because if not, we're going to fall in for the same traps.
That's right.
If not, we're going to be under the same illusion and oppression. You understand? And it's going to destroy us and crush us. So we offering relief. Reading these scriptures and these stories like Nehemiah, you understand, is here to comfort us and give us a path out of this kingdom. You understand? And show us what we can and what we should do. You understand? To be righteous, to continue to be righteous. You understand? So we're gonna start it off. We're gonna kick it right back off. Like I said, we can go over a quick recap. Nehemiah building up the kingdom. I mean, not the kingdom, Salakia, but building up the land in Jerusalem. That's what I understand. Building up the wall. You know what I'm saying? Trying to escape. You understand? Escape the wickedness that's surrounding him. You understand? The wicked people that's around him. You know what I'm saying? And protect his people and try to reintroduce the culture that had been forgotten, that had not been practiced since the time of Joshua. You understand? Which was thousands of, hundreds of years, if you want to say 1,000 years. I'm not really sure the time period in between. However, it was a long period of time that these people hadn't kept the Feast of Tabernacles,
Right.
hadn't kept the Passover. You understand? They wasn't picking up the law and reading from the Bible,
Right.
from the law. You understand? They wasn't learning these things. They were just a people living just like you in that Christian church, or those who don't go to church. You,
Right.
that's being an American citizen, is living your life day to day. You understand? With no guidance. So Nehemiah and Ezra and other brothers had to come and reteach the people and raise these people back up to their dominance. You know what I'm saying? That's their glory. You understand? Under the eyes of the Most High. Go ahead.
Yeah. So for historical reference, this is occurring around 600 BC, give or take. You see what I'm saying? This is around 600 to 500 BC. If you want a general timeline for people that like to dive deep, this is also around a time in the same lifetime, I should say, as Zerubbabel. You know what I'm saying? I was reading about Zerubbabel a couple weeks ago. A lot of y'all was tuning in and asking questions. That was a story where, of course, the three questions were asked about what was more powerful between alcohol, authority, and women. This is around the same time. For while Zerubbabel, you can say, was in the king's house fighting for the rights of his people from the inside during that same lifetime. 30 to 40 years before or after, Nehemiah was in the field on the outside fighting for the same thing, but he was doing it physically. He was building a physical building at that time. And the point of all of these beautiful stories is to show you that if you turn back to God, if you turn back to the Lord, if you turn back to your power, he will fight your battles for you. He's going to make sure you're successful. He's going to make sure that your people are safe. Your enemies are going to become his enemies. And if he was able to do it back then, he's going to be able to do it now. If Daniel's vision in Daniel chapter 2 and Daniel chapter 8, when he talked to Nebuchadnezzar about all of the different kingdoms that was going to rise and then fall, if Daniel predicted the rise of Alexander the Great, this book of Nehemiah, this is right before the rise of Alexander the Great, 2 generations before. You see what I'm saying? And Daniel predicted Alexander the Great. You see what I'm saying? If that came to pass, guess what else is going to come to pass? The book of Revelations. That's why we're here. Because we know that Daniel's vision is going to come to pass. We know that Christ is 100% indeed going to come back. And we want to look at these stories in Nehemiah to understand how we got to conduct ourselves for those times. See what I'm saying?
So, yeah, we're going to get into, back into chapter 9. We're going to start at verse 16. The previous verse before that, they were just reminding them what happened with their fathers, how their father would disobey the Lord.
Right.
How their fathers were brought out of Egypt, you understand, and all the things that they were doing and the conditions that they were in when they were coming out of Egypt, and how disobedient they was immediately when they came out of Egypt, you understand? So they just describing, you understand, the condition of their fathers and saying that they are doing the exact same thing their fathers are doing. You understand? That came out of Egypt. So let's get that so we can get through these chapters, man, so we can get this closed out. Somebody got it? Read it when you got it. Nehemiah 9 and 16.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
But they and our fathers dealt proudly and hardened their necks and hearkened not to thy commandments.
Right. Keep reading.
Verse 17. And refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God, but thou art ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not.
Right. Even though they did all these wicked things, you understand, they put a captain that was someone over them that was going to return them to their bondage. You understand? Someone that was not going to, guide them properly. You know what I'm saying? And that's talking about, when they appointed Saul, a wicked ruler. You know what I'm saying? And these wicked people that's over them. You know what I'm saying? Stuff we asked for throughout time these leaders, and we got wicked leaders because of our rebelliousness, because of our, you know what I'm saying, because of our basically us sinning, our transgressions that we were doing. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 18. Yea, when they have made them a molten calf and said, This is thy God that brought thee up out of Egypt, and have brought great provocations. Verse 19. Yet thou in thy manifold mercies forsookest them not in the wilderness. The pillar of cloud departed not from them by day, to lead them in the way, neither the pillar of fire by night, to show them the light and the way wherein they should go.
Amen.
Goodness.
The Lord, he just shows you that throughout all your wickedness, even in a time like now, right? Throughout all our wickedness, he still appoint the men of the Lord to raise you up. You understand? To teach you the way and show you the way. You understand? Even throughout all your wickedness that we do, and all the murder, all the homosexuality, all the adultery, you understand? All of the wickedness that we do, the Lord still is merciful to his people and he keeps his promises. He's showing you that he still loves you throughout all the. That doesn't mean keep sinning. That doesn't mean keep doing these things. It's just showing you that our God is not going to turn his back on his people.
Right. And if I could, go ahead. This, like, everything you're saying is so true. And this scripture is so beautiful, man, because Nehemiah showed something that every man in the Isupk and Command Johnny has showed. He showed repentance. You see what I'm saying? He lived his life just as wicked as everybody else during that time. But then when he started to read that Bible, when he started to listen to the prophets of that time, man, you see what I'm saying? Make sure you lock that door behind you out. He looked and he realized, he said, damn, the Lord has shown us that we have never shown him loyalty. That's what he showed us. He showed us loyalty when we was not worthy of it. Let me be loyal to my power. Let me be loyal for once to my authority. Because even when my forefathers were making a golden calf, he led us through the night and the day. He didn't forsake his people. Has God forsaken his people? God forbid. You see what I'm saying? Nehemiah knew how to escape his oppression. And you should know that God is real and that God is with you, because throughout all the wicked and evil and stupid and disgusting things that you have done in your life, you still have breath in your lungs when you don't deserve it. That's what Nehemiah realized during that time. And that's loyalty, man, because you don't deserve to be here. None of us do. And because you're still breathing, just as the Lord lived, you see what I'm saying? Paraphrasing the scripture. You should not let one jot nor tittle go away from this law, man. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep reading.
Verse 20. Thou gavest also thy good spirit to instruct them, and withheldest not thy manna from their mouth, and gavest them water for their thirst. Verse 21. Yea, 40 years did thou sustain them in the wilderness.
Come on.
So that they lack nothing.
They lack what?
They lack nothing.
They lack nothing. The Lord led us out of Egypt. He took us out of the land of our oppressors. And while we was in the wilderness, we're not, if you could say, not a dollar in our pocket, not any source of any type of resources. The Lord made sure that we lack nothing. You want to know why? You want to know why? Because the Lord is loyal. The Lord will provide for the people that he loves. The Lord is forgiving and he's merciful. You see what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Their clothes wax not old.
Their clothes wax not old. You in the wilderness for 40 years and your clothes wax not old, because the Lord gonna make sure that you're taken care of, man. It's a metaphor, of course, but y'all get the point. It's like, yeah, no, go ahead, keep reading.
And their feet swell not.
Come on, man. That's gonna be the kingdom of heaven right there. When it's time for us to go put some work in, we're gonna be doing all manner of work. When we're in the wilderness, we get off them chariots and our feet are gonna swell not. We're not gonna get injured in the wilderness and not be able to move on. We gotta leave. We gotta worry about leaving somebody behind. Nah, the Lord is with us. The Spirit of God and the angels are surrounded by us, just like they was in the wilderness in Egypt. And we had to travel a lot and put in a lot of work, and our feet swell not, because the Lord made sure. Keep reading.
Verse 22. Moreover, thou gavest them kingdoms and nations, and didst divide them into corners.
Come on, man.
So they possessed the land of Sion.
The land of Sion. Go ahead.
The land of the king of Heshbon.
Go ahead.
And the land of Og, king of Bashan.
We have people that's coming out of our captivity with nothing. Nothing at all. Young and old and men in their prime. And yet we have the ability to go and take over nations and kingdoms and had a land of our own. Why? Because the Lord was by our side. We left in haste. We didn't have swords and weapons and bow and arrows and slingshots. You see what I'm saying? It didn't matter because God said that land is for you. And if you obey my law, you're going to go take it. I guarantee you that much. And it was so. And we took the land of what?
Read that last verse.
Moreover, verse 22. Moreover, thou gavest them
He gave us these keys. Don't ever forget where your resources, where your power, where your luxury, anything comes from. Nehemiah realized if I want to build a city in the Persian Medes where I'm oppressed, I need to know where it's going to come from. The Lord gives the kingdoms. Keep reading.
and the nations,
Mm-hmm.
and it is divided them into corners. So they possess the land of Sion.
We took the land of Sion. Go ahead.
And the land of the king of Heshbon.
And the land of the king of Heshbon. Keep reading.
And the land of Og, king of Bashan.
Come on, y'all get the point. Let's go.
Right. And if I may, like he said, we came out of, imagine coming out of captivity, barely, we had food, but it wasn't like what we used to eat. You understand? And still was able to go to these lands and kill and take over. You understand? These lands wasn't just magically ours, you know what I'm saying? Because the Lord said they were going to be ours. We had to take it by force. You understand? We came out of one captivity and defeated armies.
That's right.
You understand? That's all because of the power of the Most High. So think about the power that you serve and why you should be loyal to the Lord and not go against his commandments. You understand? And not go against his words. You understand? It's important because we're able to slay all of our enemies.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? At our weakest point.
Right.
We're not a power in America. You understand? We low on the totem pole. You know what I'm saying? We the least of the people in America. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to be able to overcome our oppressors because the Lord will be back behind us and by our side, just like he was in his time coming out of Egypt. We're going to take over this land, you understand, and conquer this land.
Damn right.
So don't forget that. And that's what we're working toward. That's the importance of serving our power. You understand?
Damn right. And go ahead. Oh, Slackers, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, but what you're saying is so goddamn heavy because he just said, he said that even at our weakest state, we have so much power and so much ability, even when we at our absolute lowest. Right now, you at your absolute lowest in America. And yet, even though we are the minorities, we are the people that makes everybody else in the world rich. We are the people that makes everyone else's business. We are the businesses. We are the ones that built America in the first place. But there will be no broadcasting without LeBron James, without Michael Jordan. There will be no. me and Bakari brothers, man. We joke about LeBron James a lot. But there'll be no broadcasting without the music of Beyonce and Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. And I could go on and on and on to make the point. You see what I'm saying? But we are at our lowest point. Lil Wayne is a damn drug addict, man. You know how many white people he's made rich? You know how many white families he's made rich, but hasn't made that many black families successfully rich? Imagine how amazing we will be. And this is what your enemies fear. This is the reason they make sure that you are strung out on drugs. This is the reason they make sure you're killing each other. This is the reason they're making sure you celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of those things. Because if we can be this powerful, this influential at our low state, imagine what we'll be at our high state. We turn back to our authority. All right, you see what I'm saying? So like, that's
keep reading, man.
Verse 23. Their children also multiplied thou as the stars of heaven, and brought them into the land, concerning which thou hast promised to their fathers, that they could go in to possess it.
Keep reading.
Verse 24. So the children went in and possessed the land, and thou subduedest before them the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, and gave them into their hands with their kings and the people of the land, that they might do with them as they would.
That's exactly what we just talked about.
mm-hmm.
Do with them as they would. You understand? Hey, shalom on Christ, sir.
Hey, shalom on Christ, everyone. Shout out to La California, man, tapping in with us. Man, make sure y'all go ahead, you know what I'm saying, like and share, put the word out to this class. Officer Bakar and Shalom are teaching an amazing class on the book of Nehemiah, man. You see what I'm saying? Tell all of Israel there's people who need these breakdowns and take notes as well.
Yeah. And once again, like we said, like this wasn't, they subdued them. They took their kings. They took over this land, man. It was mighty at that weakest point, you understand? Leaving a low state in Egypt, you understand?
Right.
Rose them up to be able to fulfill his word and his promise. And once again, he has promised us salvation out of this kingdom. You understand?
Damn right.
So once again, don't have to, if you lose faith right now, then you understand this ain't the time to be losing faith. This ain't the time for you to be second guessing whether the Lord is have your back just because you're late on a couple of bills.
Right.
And you ain't got the food, you ain't able to eat all the steak and all the, you know, the glorious meals that you thought you would be able to do right now. Listen, this ain't the time to start doubting our power and start back getting high. You understand? Start back becoming a whore, becoming a pimp, a homosexual, and all of these type of wicked, lustful things. You understand? This ain't the time to be tapping into all of that. This is the time for us to be great and to show our greatness so our Father can continue to provide and fulfill these promises that he told us that he will give us. You understand? Out of this wicked kingdom that we're in right now. Let's keep it moving.
Keep reading that.
Verse 25. And they took strong cities.
Strong cities and fat land, man. The Lord gave us the best of the best.
The best of the best.
Strong cities, man. These wasn't there's no, that's like taking Chicago. That's what we here to do. You understand that? We here to take strong cities.
That's right. The Sin City, the Saint City.
Damn right, man. We are on a mission to turn this into the Saint City.
Get a load of hands.
Oh. Understand? We on the same mission coming out of this captivity, escaping this captivity. You understand? We here to take strong cities, Chicago, New York, LA. You understand? All these major cities, Miami, Florida. You understand? All the wicked cities of America, man. The men of the Lord are here to take over these cities. You understand? And raise up our people, just like in the time of Nehemiah, man, in the time of our forefathers coming out of Egypt. You understand? Keep reading.
And possess houses full of all goods.
Go ahead.
Well digged, vineyards and olive yards, and fruit trees in abundance. So they did eat and were filled and became fat and delighted themselves in thy great goodness.
If you don't understand what Nehemiah is doing right now, right? Who knows what Nehemiah is doing, young man? Why is he saying all this? This is very important to understand. If you understand the Bible, if you want to understand where the Lord works, if you want to understand how to find favor in the Lord. I'm damn near giving it away, but why do you think Nehemiah is doing all this? Why is he saying all this? It's been 10, 15 verses, damn near 20 verses of him just talking about all the things the Lord has done. Why?
To remind them that if you follow him, then he will bless you.
No. That wasn't his point. You want to give it a shot, Tazawar? What you're saying is true, that he will do that. But that's not why Nehemiah was stating what he was stating, though. Why do you think he's sitting here saying, you brought the children of Israel out of Egypt, Lord? And you, even when they sinned, you sat up and you still looked out for them. Why is he doing that? I'm going to tell you for time's sake. He's doing that because the Bible says, what does the Bible say to do? If you want to find, go ahead.
Keep the commandments.
But what does the Bible say to do if you want to find favor in the eyes of God? See, you could not be important and all that. But what else do you have to do? What else is a commandment? Or not a commandment, but an expectation from God. If you want to be a leader, if you want real favor, go ahead. Brother, I'm going to give it to you for time's sake. You have to study to show thyself approved. Study to show thyself approved. He's asking a great thing of the Most High God. He's saying, look at us down here, look at my people, and I want you to look at me and understand that I know who you are. I know what you did. I went and I took the time to learn who the most powerful thing in existence is, and it was you. I went and looked at what you did for our forefathers, my Lord. I see how you brought my people out of Egypt, even though they didn't deserve it. I see how you stayed with them, even though they was worshiping the golden calf. And you get them the fat of that, you get them this and that. He's showing God that he studied to show himself approved. Because before I ask for your help, Lord, I want you to know that I'm worthy of your help. I'm trying, or should I say, not know. He's trying to prove and beg that he's worthy for the Lord's help. So he's proclaiming everything that the Lord has done for his people to say, I know. I'm not just like the Christians who's going to pray that God helps us and I haven't done any works, or I don't even know who God really is. I'm only going to ask for God's help when I'm in a bind or my rent is due or something like that, knowing I'm sinning. He said, no, I'm following you, and I know exactly how much weight you hold for our success. That's what he's vocalizing in all of these scriptures. That's why it's such a long, select.
Yeah, no sweat.
Keep reading.
And also, too, like you said, Salaki, if I may add just one thing, he's praising the Lord.
Damn right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's giving the Lord his credit.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, letting the Lord know, like, hey, look, I know it wasn't nobody but you who did this.
Come on, man.
You are the power that delivered us. You know, some people think when they rich and they eating good and they living good, that they hard work did it. You understand? That they nice education did it. You understand? But it was the Lord that done it. You understand? It allowed for us as a people to have any type of success coming out of slavery. Look at all the things we've achieved coming out of slavery here in this captivity. You understand? And there's many more great things that we're going to do that's going to overcome the things that we've done already out of slavery. Think of the colleges and all of the inventions and all the things. Nothing will compare to us doing what we're doing in the time of the fall of this captivity.
Damn right.
The fall of this empire. The great things that we're going to do coming out of that wilderness again. You understand? It's going to be talked about for ages. You understand? It's going to be written about
forever.
The same book. You understand? And added to this book. You understand? It was very important, man. Keep reading, man.
Verse 26. Nevertheless, they were disobedient and rebelled against thee.
Nevertheless, they were still, you did all of those amazing things, they were still disobedient. Go ahead.
And cast thy law behind their backs.
Come on.
And slew thy prophets, which testified against them to turn them to thee.
Oh my goodness.
And they wrought great provocations.
Keep reading.
Verse 27. Therefore thou deliverest them into the hand of their enemies.
Therefore thou did what?
Delivered them into the hand of their
He
enemies.
said, I know what you did for us in the past, and I know why we're here now. Because even after everything you did, we still casted your law aside. And that's the reason that Nebuchadnezzar conquered us and was able to destroy our temples and then slay Zedekiah's son, the last great king of Judah, and then rip his eyes out of his head just because he wanted to make sure the last thing he saw was the death of his sons. I know that's why you allowed that to happen, and you turned your head when that was happening, because we turned our backs on you first. But here I am turning my back against my enemies, and I'm facing you again, Lord. That's what he's saying. Keep reading.
Who vexed them. And in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee, thou heardest them from heaven.
And when we cried unto you, you heard our cries from heaven. Keep reading.
And according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors.
And according to the mercies, you gave them saviors, even when they didn't deserve it. You want to know why? Because as much as they hurt you, you couldn't stand to see them in pain. Do you understand that? Do you understand the mercy that the Lord gives our people over and over and over again? We just keep breaking his heart. We just keep betraying him. We just keep putting knives in his back. And then we come crawling back home to daddy and asking for help. And then he says the same. That's why we need to stop putting knives in the back of God. We need to stop betraying the loyalty of God. And we need to get loyal, man. And if you want to get loyal, you need to be here, sitting in these seats. Get yourselves in here. You see what I'm saying? Because you could be anywhere. And at some point in your life, you realize what Nehemiah realized. You realize that you've been a disloyal, disgusting bastard. And you're here to clean off the filth of disloyalty to God. You're here to become clean again, man. That's why we're here right now. Keep reading. Also, like you. Keep reading.
And according to thy manifold mercies, thou gave them saviors who saved them out of the hand of their enemies.
Yeah.
Verse 28. But after they had rest, they did evil again before the
And after we had rest, we get delivered out of the hands of right. This has been, do you see the trend? This is the reason that the scripture says this last war, World War III, Revelations, when Christ comes back, this is going to be the last time. It's going to be so terrible. We're not going to have this problem again, where we sin and then the Lord saves us, and then we get comfortable, and then we turn our backs again. Read the 28 again from the top.
Verse 28. But after they had rest,
After we had rest, after we haven't been slaves anymore, once we kings again, it said we was kings. You know what the hell you did when you was kings? You read.
they did evil again before thee.
You turned your back on God again. That's what you do when you get power and authority. Because, go ahead, stop.
I was just gonna say that's just like typical so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives, right?
Yeah, I'm right.
In your time of trouble, you sitting there like, please, God, please, please.
Come on, man.
We praying to God, begging to God. I promise you, I'm not gonna get high no more. If you just take away this high, this crack addiction that you got, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever drug addiction, whatever hardship you're going through.
Right.
You might have cancer or something from smoking. God can deliver you from cancer. You'll swear to him you won't do nothing ever again.
Won't pick up another cigarette.
But the minute you heal, you understand, the minute you heal from all of your trouble, the minute the Lord deliver you from your pain, you go back to being wicked again. And that's just a microcosm of what we are and what we have been. And Nehemiah is saying he knows this and he understands why the Lord is doing what the Lord is doing to us and allowing for us to be in these captivities and go through the things that we go through. Because every time we get rescued, every time we have rest, the Lord takes away that persecution away from us. We get right back to being wicked, man. Like it never happened, right where you left off at. And this is how you ended up in America. Understand? Because time after time, you're going from being delivered, the Lord rising up prophets, giving you saviors. You understand? You say you get it, you say you understand, and then the minute you able to, you understand? In a second. The minute you're able to, you're gonna go back to doing your wicked ways. You're gonna go back to loving the other cultures and what they do, all the cultures of the heathens, all the customs and everything, because that's what feels good to you. You understand? You're not doing what the Lord tells. So you gotta understand, this is about obedience.
Damn right.
Everything we're talking about today is about obedience.
That's it.
And being obedient to the Lord and being obedient to your Father. You know you struggle being obedient because you don't even want to listen to your earthly parents.
Oh,
you don't even want to listen to no authority.
You think you know it all already.
Right.
You got it all figured out.
Yeah, you think you got it all figured out. You think you're too smart. You think you're smart. You can outsmart the system. You can outsmart God. You can outsmart everyone. And that's your problem because you keep failing in your wickedness, in your foolishness, in your so-called wisdom that you think you have. You're failing. You understand? Mm-hmm. Because you don't have the answers. We're reading the answers right now. You think this is something new. No, this is not new. This has been happening since the time we were delivered out of Egypt. Mm-hmm. They thought they knew it all. They thought they didn't need Moses. They would build them a calf. They would make their own gods. They think they don't need God. They're good now. What do they need God for? Just like you now. You don't need God. You need money. You need more jewelry. You need more clothes.
You need more women.
You need more women. You need more niggas.
Come on, man.
Understand? And then when you figure out the hard way that that's not the answer, guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be right on your knees praying to God to take away your misery.
And if I may, you want to know why we do that as a people? Because you don't really believe in God. That's the problem. That's the reason that you only pray to God during the times of your calamity. Because to you, God is a concept that's too good to be true. Which is why when you find yourself in a predicament that's too bad to be true, now you're looking for some type of intervention. You don't believe in God enough to stop smoking weed before he punishes you. You see what I'm saying? That's why you get high. Because what's the worst that can happen? I know what the Bible says. What's the worst that can really happen? Ain't no way I'm really going to get killed or get cancer or someone I love is going to suffer because of my disobedience to God. I know the Bible says until he poured me out so long ago, I don't think that I'm really going to die like the Bible says. You don't think death is on its way until death becomes on its way. And in your ignorance, now you want to turn your back to God. Don't do that, man. Nehemiah said, I don't even want to be one of them. You see what I'm saying? Do me a favor, drop down to verse 36.
Verse 36. Behold, we are servants this day.
He said, with all that said, he went on praising the Lord, letting the Lord know that he understood exactly why we were in the predicament we were in. And he said, man, behold, we are servants this day. Now I see why we're here. Keep reading.
And for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers to eat the fruit thereof and the good thereof, behold, we are servants in it.
And enemies was able to take over our land because we turned our backs on you and we did not have the angels' protection anymore. We didn't have the protection of God anymore. I have studied and I see where my forefathers went wrong. Keep reading.
Verse 37. And it yielded but increase unto the kings whom thou hast set over us because of our sins.
You're not my good. Keep reading. I'm not even going to do that.
Also, they have dominion over our bodies.
They have dominion over our bodies. They decide when we sleep. They decide when we slave. They decide when we eat. They decide when we drink. They decide when we have babies. They decide when babies die. They decide when our families are separated. Doesn't sound familiar.
Hey, is that not what?
Come on.
Can somebody tell me, is that not what we're going through right now? Can you do anything
God,
without the goddamn white man, so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, allowing you to do it? They have dominion over your children, if you didn't know that. Come on, you understand? If you didn't know that, they trying to do something and take your kids and the police involved, and you'll see DCFS, CPS, all of these things, they have dominion over your family. You understand? They have dominion over your body. They tell you what you can, what to wear.
Come on.
Make fashion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They tell you what to eat. What are you putting in your body? Did they not mandate you to take a vaccine? They have dominion over your body.
Mandated. You're going to take it or you're going to starve. You're going to take this vaccine
or you cannot work.
You can't eat.
You cannot work. You can't do anything. You understand? You don't have the freedom that you think you have. You understand? And this happened in the time of Nehemiah. That's why we say nothing new is under the sun.
That's right.
You know, no new thing. You understand? That thing being man, because these same people are in rulership now, doing the exact same thing.
Doing the exact same thing
before. You understand? You think America is different from this captivity that Nehemiah is talking about? You understand? And that we went through before in the scriptures? No. This is how you know you are the people in the Bible, because you're going through that persecution right now in 2025. That's that they went through back in those times. You understand? This is why it's important that we read our culture and read our literature, you know what I'm saying, and read our book to understand what we are going through and what we're facing and how to defeat it. You understand? And every time you will see that we went back to what? The laws.
That's right.
In the service of God, being loyal, obedient to the Most High. You understand? You're not going to get it. No matter how much temporary success you have in this kingdom, it's not going to withstand into the end. We're giving you the blueprint to endure all the way to the end. You may have temporary success without us. Nobody's going to say you can't get money in America because you're not in the UPK and you're not learning these scriptures and you don't know, you know what I'm saying, the laws of God and following the laws of God. You can become rich, but will you survive? Will your family survive? Because a lot of these rich people, their kids are homosexuals. They're gonna die. You understand? They're gonna go to jail. They're gonna make a mistake. You understand? We're trying to make sure our generations last lifetimes. You understand?
And if I may,
you know what I'm saying? We don't go through the same thing over and over. Go ahead.
You have to understand that money is not going to be your savior. That's our problem. We put our faith in everything other than God. We put our faith in other people. We put our faith in money. We put our faith in information. You know what I'm saying? AI. We put our faith in power, in guns, in our training. We put our faith in everything other than the thing that really has dominion over whether we live or die, that really has the authority over your faith, and that's the Most High God. I don't give a damn how much money you have. Your money is not going to save you during the time of judgment, man.
Damn right.
See what I'm saying? The only thing that's going to save you is what? Obedience. You see what I'm saying? Obedience. which is, like you said, following the law, statutes, and commandments. But to put it simply, obedience to God, loyalty, faithfulness to he who has been faithful unto you. That's what's going to preserve your soul. Keep reading. Oh, somebody did you?
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Keep reading.
Verse 38.
Over our bodies.
Oh, yeah.
Read over our bodies again.
And they have dominion over our bodies and over our cattle at their pleasure.
At their pleasure. Keep reading.
And we are in great distress.
And we can no longer take it. For life, Lord. We can't take it no more. I'll slave away 80 hours a week, and my check is half of what it should be because they have their hands in my cattle. You know what I'm saying? Cattle back then was the main source of income. Nowadays, it's money. Nowadays, it's how many hours do you get paid. Just like back then, when they could just take whatever cattle they wanted from you, now they tax you whatever dollars they want out of your goddamn check. Even though you slave, don't keep reading. We're not
Damn right, Rock. No, I was going to say obedience.
Oh, look, he said it.
He already had one. Yeah,
You already knew.
about. That's this.
Big shout out to Officer Rock in Las Vegas, another powerful priest that's helping us turn Sin City into Saint City, man. You see what I'm saying? Rock, there's a lot of things behind the scenes, man. You see what I'm saying? He's gonna be here soon in class. You know what I'm saying? Teaching another powerful class pretty soon. So y'all stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Priest and Officer Rock's class. Keep reading.
Verse 38. And because of all this, we make a sure covenant and write it. Our princes, Levites, and priests seal unto it.
And because of all of that, we promised you that we will be loyal. Because if we don't, excuse my language, we're fucked. So we as the nation, we as a society promise that we will obey you in return for your preference. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's like,
No, I was going to say, they realized, I want y'all to understand this. They realized why. They confessed their sins. They praised the Lord. They understood why they were going through what they were going through. So they said to themselves, they're going to make a covenant, which is an agreement, a contract. Covenant. It's like us right here in this class, right? We're saying we're going to come to class. We're going to learn about the Lord. We're going to refrain from our sins. We're going to be a brotherhood. We're going to do the things that we need to do. And they made an agreement amongst each other.
right.
They had the Levites, they had the priests, and they sealed it and they wrote it down. And they made this pact, if you want to say.
Come on.
This is what we're going to do. And this is what you have to do. You have to do the same exact thing. You understand? You have to show yourself, hey, I have to take an oath, basically, to myself, that I'm going to do the right thing.
That's right.
I'm going to put my sins behind me. I'm going to not let these things overcome me, just like they overcame our forefathers. I'm going to be better than them. I'm going to turn away from my wickedness. You have to make that kind of oath to yourself. You understand? And to your brothers. You understand? And if you're an officer in the UPK, you know all about this. We know all about making an oath to uphold an office. You understand? And to uphold this truth and honor and integrity. You understand? This is something that's bigger than us. You understand? This is something that a nation, this is how you build a nation. It takes loyalty. It takes perseverance. You understand? It takes strength. You got to find the strength. You have to dig up deep inside yourself and muster up the strength to fight your demons out. And if you have to, Salami, give me a second. You have to fight. You understand? Because it's imperative that you win and you don't let the demon win. That's right. Because if the demon wins, you're going to be back in the world. The demon wins, you're going to use every and any excuse, you understand, to sin. And you're going to keep expecting the Lord to feel sorry for you and to forgive you and to have his mercy. But as we know, as we read more and more into these scriptures, we know that the Lord is very, very, very merciful. That's right. But there's a side of the Lord that you never want to see. Oh my goodness. You never want to see the terrible side of the Lord. We read earlier that the Lord was considered a great and terrible power. You read the earlier Nehemiah. They understood what type of power they were dealing with. And you never want to see the terrible side. You understand? And this is why we're here. We're here to keep the terrible side of the Lord away from you. And if you do not follow our instructions and you do not show up and show out and fight those demons, you will learn the side of the Lord that you never should have seen. Go ahead. It's like,
Nah, what you said, man, give a card. What you said is so important. This scripture is talking about the oath and the covenant and the loyalty. And you saying how you're an officer in the Isupk, you understand exactly what that oath is talking about. You understand getting that oil poured upon your head. You understand taking on a new name and living your life under a new loyalty, man, under a new expectation by God. And this is the reason why the Lord is so much greater and so much better than us. Because even though that oath was broken by us, over and over and over again, what did he keep doing? What did he keep doing? You're here, so I hope you know that much. You're here, and you don't deserve to be here. Why are you here? What did the Lord do?
Give us mercy.
He gave you, he forgave you. He gave you mercy. You see what I'm saying? God is so much better than me. Because when a man pours that oil upon his head and then turns his back on the oil, I have a very hard time forgiving you. You see what I'm maybe that's just me. I can't take it. I don't understand how the Lord has enough power. And that's why I keep serving him. Because you have enough power to deal with this feeling of betrayal that I feel when you cowards betray the oath that you made to God. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine what he feels. And he's feeling on a whole nother level, man.
hey,
You don't get it.
Wow.
Yeah,
A lot of opportunities. Make sure you share the broadcast.
Damn right. Lord of Christ says what's going on. You don't get to make an oath to God in the Isupk and then constantly break your oath. No. You're going to come in here, you're going to have expectations now. I'm going to expect certain things of you. You're going to be required to do certain things and live your life to a certain standard. And if you can't, this isn't the place for you. You see what I'm saying? That's why we say the Lord be with you. Once you promise and swear before God to live your life as that new man, and then betray that, life. You see what I'm saying? It's a disgusting thing. Let's keep reading.
And we're gonna get into some of the oath. The first few, if you want to, you can read the first 27 verses of chapter 10 on your own. It's just telling you all the people that were involved in sealing it, making this covenant. It's basically, you know what I'm saying, all the people that's involved. We're gonna drop down for time's sake. Drop down to verse 28, chapter 10, Nehemiah, from Kasham, and read from there.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, beginning at verse 28. And the rest of the people, the priests, the Levites, the porters, the singers, the Nethinims, and all they that had separated themselves from the people of the land unto the law of God, their wives, their sons, and their daughters, everyone having knowledge and having understanding.
What?
Knowledge and having understanding.
Now, everyone else, remember, they had camp. They put it all good. They stood on camp and they spoke to the people. Am I right, sir? They spoke to the people as priests of God and let them know what they ought to do. And everyone who listened, they listed above. If you want to start at, for anybody that's going to read this on their own time, start at the beginning of chapter 10. They listed all of the different people that was there and their families. They changed their life because they understood the power that they ought to serve. Keep reading.
Yeah, and they, if I may, it's just saying that these are the people that chose to side with God.
That's right.
They chose to say, take a stand and say, you know what? I'm going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God. I'm going to hold up my end of the bargain. You understand? Right. I'm going to do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said they separated, you know what I'm saying, themselves from the people of the lands unto the law of God. You understand? They was not going to blend in with everybody else. That's what we are doing right now. That's what you are separating yourself from the people of the land, which is we're in Vegas, in America, wherever land, city you're in, and you're going to separate and be with the people that's going to keep the laws of God. You understand? You ain't with your mama. You're not with your baby mama. You're not with your baby daddy. You understand? You're with the people that's keeping the law. You understand? That doesn't mean you don't go around them. I'm just saying your loyalty belongs to those who are doing the same, making the same sacrifices you are making sacrifices. That's what you are. What did Christ say? Can someone get that that verse where Christ was holding camp and he said, "The same is my mother and my father." You understand? Pull that for me, Barbara, because I real quick. Because this is a precept.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 12.
Yeah, pull that for me, because this right here is what we have to do. You understand? We are separated by the laws of God. You understand? We love our family. We love our kids. We love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Our friends, our uncles, our aunties, everybody.
That's right.
But what separates us is these laws. You understand? You cannot hang with, you know, there's nothing wrong with wanting to see your friends that's in the world, but you have to make a choice. What's more important? You're going to be with this brotherhood. You're going to be with the people that serving God. The ones that, this is the type of oath that they took.
Right.
They said they made an oath.
That's
They
right.
made a covenant saying that they're going to keep these laws. They're going to do. Everybody's not making this covenant. That's why I only list a few people. You understand? It wasn't everybody in the land. You understand? There was still people that want to do what they want to do. And we're going to get into what's going to happen to them. You understand? But read that for me when you get it.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, and verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him.
For the context, someone walked up while Christ was doing the work of God and said, hey, your mother is calling you. Your mother and your brother also is over there, and they need you right now. Now, to somebody that doesn't understand how important the work of God is, you would think you wouldn't put anything above your mother, right? She raised you and she birthed you and all of that. You should drop everything if she's asking for your help or your assistance or your attention. But Christ understood that God was more important. Christ understood that his people was more important. Christ understood that the pain and the suffering that was going on in the land of Nazareth and fixing it, his mission was far more important than whatever the hell his mother was talking about. Keep reading.
No, read that. What you got?
Yeah.
But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother and who are my brethren?
Who the hell is my
Suck up there, if I may. Keep reading.
49. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
Right. So once again, he said, who is my mother and my brethren? Like he said, they said, came up and said, your mother and your brother looking for you. Christ said, who is my mother and my brethren? And then he stretched forth his hand, just like I'm going to do in this class, because my brothers is just important as my mother and my brother.
That's right.
You understand? That's what we need to understand. When we read in this chapter, right? I mean, this verse right here, these people have been separated themselves from the people of the land according to the law. You understand? They understood that what makes them family, what makes them one, is the law. Who's keeping the law? Who's serving God? Who's doing the work of God? Who's willing to sacrifice and fight those demons? That's right. If you ain't willing to sacrifice and fight those demons, we are not the same. You understand? You are not my mother and my brethren. Just like Christ said, we're not on the same level. You understand? Christ could care less about his mother and brother. He cared more about the people that was right there listening to him. You understand? Who was ready to make the same sacrifices that he was making. You understand? It was ready to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. Keep reading any more of that?
Go.
Yeah, keep reading.
Verse 50. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
Man, that's the type of mentality that you need to have. You understand? You need to understand the people that's your family, that's truly your family, that really love you, is the ones that's going to do the will of the Lord. You understand? It's the one that's willing to make the sacrifice. They see you not getting high. They knew you were a drug addict. They knew you didn't get high. Them same people said, you know what? I'm not even going to offer him weed. I'm going to stop getting high as well. Them should be your brother and sister. That's right. They see you out here doing the work of the God, the work of the Lord. You understand? The Most High power. You understand? They willing to get out here and do the work with you. You understand? Those is making those same sacrifices. Those are the ones that's your mother, your brother. You understand? Those are the ones that's important in your life. And that's what Nehemiah and them, they knew. These people on this list, they made that covenant. They understood that this is my family. Those who's willing to do this work, make these sacrifices, fight their demons, that's my family. Right. Not everybody who's I'm cool with just because they speak to me. That's because they're fun to be around. It's a lot of fun, evil people. It's a lot of fun. Wickedness is always fun. It's fun to get high. If you've never got high before, you know it's very fun. It's a lot of fun involved. You understand? It's a lot of fun in having sexual whores. Whores are the most fun women. You didn't know that. They're the most fun women. You understand? But it's not about fun. I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying that to be funny, but I'm just whores have the most fun. But guess what? It's not fun when the Lord is punishing you. You understand, for being with a whore. It's not fun when all of when all of that those STDs. You understand?
Right.
And the HIV come. You understand? When the
Consequence.
consequences of the Lord. You understand? It's not fun when you got cancer. It's not fun when you can't pay your bills because you just got high every day. You lost your job and you didn't think about your life. It's not fun when your misery comes. You understand? It's not fun. But when you're doing all these things, listen, it seems fun. Everything seems good until it's not. You understand? Until the Lord shows you that you have been disobedient and your wickedness shows its head. You understand? And the point of this is for you to understand that, once again, everybody who's in here making these sacrifices, watching these classes, tuning in, you are doing the work of the Lord. You are someone who is my family. You understand? You're someone who is our family. We're a brotherhood, a sisterhood. You understand? And we're all in this together. And we're doing this because we all came to the same conclusion that they came to in the book of Nehemiah, where they had to say something has to give. I'm not going to continue in the wickedness that my forefathers did.
Right.
The when it's good, I'm serving the Lord. And it's bad, then I'm going from up and down and up and down and up and down. That up and down stuff has to stop. That in and out stuff has to stop.
Yeah, right.
It's either blood in or blood out. You understand? Because it's definitely going to be blood out if you choose to disobey the Lord. You understand? And you have to accept what's coming to you. All the things that you're going through, the hardships that's in your life, when you can't figure it out, things just ain't going your way. Think about all the sinning you've done. You understand? And think about all the things that you've done that goes against the Lord and what the Lord has taught us and what we're learning about the Most High and who He is, and His laws and what we should be doing, and how you chose to just stray away just a little bit. You thought judgment wasn't going to come. And when you're facing all these problems, you need to look yourself in the mirror and say, you brought this upon yourself. You understand? Because God's judgments are righteous. He has righteous judgments. You understand? It's for you to be in check. You understand? And what we reading, like I said, we reading about people that understood this, and they made a oath and a pact to no longer sin against the Lord because they didn't want the wickedness. They didn't want to keep having the oppressor just oppress them and just subdue them. And you know what I'm saying? And rule over them and have control over them. They knew what they had to do to get from up under the hand of the wicked. You understand? And to be out of this oppression, for them to have some sort of goddamn freedom. You understand? They knew what the laws would do for them. And that's why they understood and they made this agreement, this covenant. Go ahead, Tazawar.
I was gonna say, I don't know if this is a precept, but when you speak about keeping the laws and the commandments, and people who decide to step out of them, when people decide to step out of those laws and they smoke cigarettes or they smoke weed and you get cancer or something atrocious happens to you, I want to bring out, I don't know if this is a precept, but Deuteronomy 32 and 39. It reads, see now that,
Daniel. Hey, Salaki, the water, Daniel. We appreciate you. Hey, listen, keep tuning in.
Right.
We will always deliver this message. You understand? This is for you. You understand? Brought to you by the priest of God. You understand? And we appreciate you for tuning in. You understand? And we thank you for saying those kind words.
Sure. My son Christ.
Go ahead, Salaki.
it's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 39.
Mm-hmm.
See now that I, even I, am He,
Go ahead.
that there is no God with me.
Mm.
I kill and I make alive.
Damn right.
This is what so many people don't understand about the authority of the goddamn cosmos. You know the mistake that we make as a people, if I could. You know what mistake we make as a people? We give credit to everybody other than God. A terrible thing happens in our life, and what's the first thing we say? Come on. Y'all know your mothers and your grandmothers. Something terrible happens, what they say. Go ahead,
The devil.
that ain't nothing but the devil. That ain't nothing but the devil. That's nothing but this. And that's no. Read that again. I do what?
I kill and I make
The
a
Lord
lot.
said, this is your goddamn problem. I'm the one that's doing this. I kill and I make alive because you got me effed up. Keep reading.
I wound and I heal.
I'm the one that's wounding you and I'm the one that's healing you. It's all me. It ain't no such thing as that's the devil. No, we know the white man is the devil. But when something bad happens, the Lord let it happen. And he let it happen for a reason.
Damn right.
Now, you are a man of wisdom, and you're a man that follows the Bible, and you're a man that follows the glorious men above me in the eyes of the candidate under Commander Julian Holland. Nothing bad will ever happen to you, and you don't know the reason the Lord allowed it to happen. But don't give the credit to your enemies. Don't give the credit to the devil. Don't give the credit to AI. Don't give the credit to the white man. Don't give the credit to the mark of the beast, the vaccine. People think of the vaccine is the mark of the beast. We give credit to all of these other things instead of understanding that the Lord is the reason that all of this destruction is happening. Keep reading.
Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand.
And the white man is not going to be able to cause a catastrophe that God didn't allow to happen. He's not delivering out of the Lord's hand. There is no Zeus or Allah or any other false god that's doing the things that God is doing. There is no AI or any other suspicious authority in the earth. That's the secret cause. Look, we don't believe in God so much. Now, when something bad happens, a million conspiracies come out as to why it happened. Michael Jackson dies, and he was getting ready to purchase the rest of something. This and this happens, or this and this person passes away, and you revere them so much that surely he was getting ready to buy ESPN, right?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't believe that maybe, just maybe he didn't serve God and God was will. So God exposed his wickedness.
Right.
That's impossible. It can't be. Want to know why? Because you are so indoctrinated into the culture of your enemies. The possibility of a divine being on your side and having to say so, you can't fathom that. It's more realistic that Kanye West was cloned rather than Kanye West was simply destroyed by God. Go ahead.
And that's just like the King Von, where they'll chalk it up to unfortunate circumstances, where had he not been there that night, as if he wasn't raining hell on Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans all throughout Chicago.
And what did the Lord say? He said, I do what?
I kill and I make a lot.
I make it live. You see what I'm saying? That's it. It's not for us to sit there and try to figure out why, or figure out did the Lord hate him or did the Lord just want him? It ain't for us to decide. You better make sure that you are in the right places with God, so he doesn't take your life. That's right. You don't need to sit up. This is not something for you to sit there and say, oh, you know he died because he was sitting up doing this, this, and that. No, knock it off. Make sure death doesn't come to your door. Yeah. Do everything you can to make sure the Lord avoids. Death is unavoidable. I pray everybody understands that. Human beings are going to die. But you should live your life trying to make sure that death captures you as late as possible. And that's the point. So, did you have something else?
Keep reading.
Nehemiah.
Yeah, Nehemiah 29. Let's get to it.
Verse 29. Like their brethren, their nobles, into a curse and into an oath to walk in God's law, which was given by Moses, the servant of God, and to observe and do all the commandments of the Lord, our Lord.
If I may, if I may.
Let him finish it.
And his judgments and his statutes.
Go ahead. Yeah, you said you want to say something.
Yeah, this is going to be, y'all, I'm trying to read chapter 10 of your time so you can see all the different commandments of God and everything that Nehemiah is acknowledging that he has studied. But let's drop down to chapter 11. He's just saying, I know that we're supposed to be doing this. We have ordinances. We're supposed to be keeping the first feast of first fruits and the Feast of Tabernacles and all of these things. And we haven't been, and I'm sorry on behalf of all of Israel. That's what he's saying for the next 13 verses. So drop down to chapter 11, Baba Kishah, for time's sake.
Verse 1.
Come.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 11, beginning at verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
The rulers of the people dwelt at Jerusalem, And the rest of the people also cast lots
Go ahead.
to bring 1 of 10 to dwell in Jerusalem, the holy city, and 9 parts to dwell in others.
So this is one of the ways that we communicated with God. This is one of the ways we communicated with what it is God wanted us to do. This is where gambling originated from. This was divine intervention when God didn't want to talk to us. We would cast lots. We would throw that dice. We'll write this option, and that option amongst the council of the people, and we'll cast lots to see where it landed. We have the understanding that wherever it landed on, that's where God stopped it at. That's where he wanted the decision to land. And that's what we should do. That's where your dice games come from. You see what I'm saying? You a good dice player. Let's keep reading. The Lord be with the Lord is with Officer McCall. You know, I seen him. I don't know how to play dice. I'm a little too young. You know, he won't teach me. That's his problem. He won't teach me. But I seen McCall take many of dollars on the goddamn dice table. Let's keep reading.
Shouts out to the brothers in Chicago. What?
Oh, damn, he just got through smacking somebody in the dice table. He just got through casting lots, and the Lord was with us. You know what I'm saying? He's a saint in Sin City. That's the reason that the Lord with him. Let's keep reading.
Verse 2. And the people blessed all the men that willingly offered themselves to dwell at Jerusalem.
Why? Because Jerusalem was a desolate place. Jerusalem was a repugnant place at this time. Jerusalem was ransacked by Nebuchadnezzar and was overseas and sieged by our enemies ever since then. But we were deciding who was going to be brave enough, who needed to go back to Jerusalem. So they praised the people that set up and did all those things. It's like you want to keep reading.
Verse 3. Now these are the chief of the province that dwell in Jerusalem. But in the cities of Judah dwell everyone in his possession in their cities. To wit, Israel, the priests and the Levites, the Nethinims, and the children of Solomon's servants.
Keep reading.
Verse 4. And at Jerusalem dwelt certain of the children of Judah and of the children of Benjamin.
Children of Judah and children of Benjamin. These are two different tribes. Go ahead.
Of the children of Judah, the son of Uzziah, the son of Zechariah, the son of Amariah, the son of Shephatiah, the son of Mahaleel, of the children of Perez.
Go ahead.
Verse 5. And Matthiah, the son of Baruch, the son of Kohoseth, the son of Haziah, the son of Adiah, the son of Joiarib, the son of Zechariah, the son of.
Do you see the caliber of priests? So you see the caliber. Also, like
I was just gonna say, go ahead. You can say what you're saying, but we're gonna drop down because this is just telling you all the people that dwell in Jerusalem,
right? And
then I'm gonna go over how many people dwell in the cities. So we're gonna skip through all that because we want to work through the context of everything. But go ahead.
Yeah, I believe verse 20 is a good place to drop down to, unless you see something. But no, even lower than that.
No,
let's more like chapter 12.
Yeah, let's get to chapter 12.
Beyond that, really.
No, let's start with let's start chapter 12. No, chapter 12, verse 22.
And if I may, what I was going to say is, look at the caliber of the men that rose up at this time. This was Zechariah's son. You see what I'm saying? This was who else, son? Read another priest's name up in that verse we just read. Where it said Zechariah. Sorry. Don't worry about it. The point is, this is priests and prophets of God with reputable reputations, amazing reputations, and their children were the ones that got built up to pursue this next battle. That's what I want for my sons. That's what I pray you want for your sons. I pray that you want your sons to find so much favor in the eyes of God that they lead the charge. You see what I'm saying? That's who it is. We build it here in the Isupk and the Commander in your honey. I want to do so many amazing things that my son has no choice but to do so many amazing things. On the right-hand side, of course. You see what I'm saying? You said drop down to 12 and 22, sir?
No, actually, we could drop down to let's start back with the wall on verse 27, 12 and 27 about the show.
Verse 27. This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 12, verse 27. And at the dedication of the wall of Jerusalem, they sought the Levites out of all their places to bring them to Jerusalem, to keep the dedication with gladness.
Keep the what?
To keep the dedication with gladness.
Right.
Both with thanksgivings and with singing, with cymbals, psalteries, and with harps. Verse 28. And the sons of the singers gathered themselves together, both out of the plain country round about Jerusalem and from the villages of Netophathi. Verse 29. Also from the house of Gilgal, and out of the fields of Geba and Asmaveth, for the singers have builded them villages round about Jerusalem. Verse 30. And the priests and the Levites purified themselves and purified the people and the gates and the wall.
If I may, oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say this is like a time where, you know what I'm saying, that there's a lot of joy, you know what I'm saying, happiness, you know what I'm saying, the building of the wall, you know what I'm saying, the restoration of the priesthood, you know what I'm saying, like all of these things was so important and they had completed, you know what I'm saying, it was able to, you know what I'm saying, like overcome so much, you know what I'm saying, so
That's right.
they're celebrating, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
they're singing, they're you know what I'm saying, they're having feasts, they're keeping the laws, it's just like us right now, we're able to come together and enjoy, you know what I'm saying?
Damn
We're
right.
able to see that, man, we're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. We celebrating the Feast of Dedication, the Feast of Tabernacles, you know what I'm saying? We keeping the Holy Convocation.
Come on,
You know what I'm saying?
man.
Like all
It's a
that's
beautiful
important.
thing.
It puts you in a different spirit. You know what I'm saying? It takes your spirit away from the spirit of the wickedness of this kingdom. It puts you in a spirit of joy. You know what I'm saying? Because now you have a people that accept you, that understand your flaws, understand what you've been through and how much transgression was in you and that you overcame. You understand? And all of these things that makes you want to celebrate. And that's what we do in here. You understand? We celebrate how far we came because
Damn
it
right.
took a lot for you to do. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot for you to come into this new walk. You know what I'm saying?
Hell.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's different. It's not easy to give up Christmas and Thanksgiving
Right.
and separate from your family and tell your family, no, I don't want to do this. I don't celebrate this no more.
Right.
And to give up your drug addiction, your affliction for whores and all of these things that you fought so vigorously to win and overcome. And it should be celebrated. And that's why each and every one of you are so important when you come into this truth and you come into this school, is because we have so much love and understanding of what you've been through and what sacrifice you had to make to be here. You understand?
If I could.
Go ahead.
So the following verses is going to talk about the royal priesthood. I was appointed in authority. For time's sake, let's drop down to verse 44. You see what I'm saying? Because he's going to go into all of the beautiful lineage. I don't want anybody that's watching to skip chapter 12. Go back and read and take note of all of those very important names. But for time's sake, to get the point of the story, we're going to drop down to verse 44.
Verse 44. And at that time were some appointed over the chambers for the treasurers.
So, and after all of those different priests and prophets that was named, all those different people of importance and of lineage and of powerful bloodlines, right? They appointed people that could watch over our goods. Keep reading.
For the offerings.
Watch over our offerings.
For the first fruit.
Go ahead.
And for the tithe.
Go ahead.
To gather into them out of the fields of the cities a portion of the law for the priests and Levites.
So now that they're showing that they turn back to God, they learn how to keep the law of God, and they keep the law of God. Right? Go to verse 45.
Verse 45. And both the singers and the porters kept the ward of their God.
This is what we need to do if we want to get out of our captivity here in America. We need to keep the ward for our God. We need to follow the law, statutes, and commandments. We need to get back to our culture, our rank structure. We need to get back to all of those things that we are doing here in the Isupk Commander in Yohana. It's the same exact thing. You see what I'm saying? We're going to see what the result was of us turning back to God at the end. Go ahead, Tazabor.
Just to, step back a couple seconds, man, when you was telling everybody not to forget to read chapter 12 and when they're reading those names, remember that these are the names of men. And when you look at the Jewish men today, they say that they're Jewish through the mother. But realize that these men, they're the son of these men and not of the women.
That was an excellent point that you just brought out, and that's very important to understand the lineage to prove that you are Israelite, to prove that you're from the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. 100% does stem from the Father, and Nehemiah chapter 12 proves that. Let's keep reading.
And the ward of the purification.
Drop down to verse 47.
Verse 47. And Israel in the days of Zerubbabel.
Who?
And Israel in the days of Zerubbabel.
Y'all remember who Zerubbabel is, right? Who's Zerubbabel? Quickly. Who remembers who Zerubbabel is? Zerubbabel is the brother that we just read about in First Ezra a couple weeks ago, who said that women are the most powerful in your kingdom. Ain't that right, King Darius? Is it? Don't y'all serve women? Didn't I see your wife take the crown off your head and slap you across the face and you laughed? Right? And then after that happened, what happened? He found so much favor in King Darius that King Darius said, man, you know what? I need him at my side. Who is your people? What do you want me to do for them? Free them? Let people go. Let them build their kingdoms. While this was happening in Nehemiah, it's also talking about Zerubbabel in First Ezra. Nehemiah was in the field fighting. Zerubbabel, the Lord had Zerubbabel fighting in the king's house. Mind you, King Darius don't know what the hell was going on.
Damn right.
During the time in Nehemiah, man.
So
it's all ties in together.
So make sure you tune in to Officer Shalamon's class on First Ezra, because all of this ties in at the same time.
If I be worthy.
We read about Ezra in this book as well, being one of the chief priests and scribes that aided Nehemiah. Look at Nehemiah like a governing body. You know what I'm saying? Someone of high importance.
That's right.
I don't want to say politically because we don't believe in politics, but you know what I'm saying? Someone who's like a ruler, who's a governor, who's someone who controls the people, who mandates things, sets the tone on what needs to be done in this kingdom. You know what I'm saying? So, and you look at Ezra as a priest of the Lord, and a scribe, someone who's going to break down the knowledge of the Bible.
That's right.
Torah, you know what I'm saying? The law of Moses, and explain to the people and how to get out of this captivity and what they should and shouldn't be doing, and to rile the people up back into the laws, statutes, and commandments. You understand?
Absolutely, and that's so important to understand, because while we don't believe in politics, we understood that at that particular time, this time doesn't apply to today. You see what I'm saying? You can't do what Zerubbabel did here in America. And that's the problem with so many of our people. We think that we can help the Black community from the inside. I'm going to become part of the police force so that I can help my people. You can't do that. Yeah. Zerubbabel was sent into King Darius's army by God.
Damn right.
So that he could find favor in, so that he could find favor in the king. You see what I'm saying? Why did the Lord send Zerubbabel into the army of King Darius, our enemies, the Persian enemies? Because he knew what was happening in the land, during the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah was fighting in the field. They were trying to kill him. They were saying, how dare Nehemiah trying to raise some shit up? Who the hell he think he is? It was going to take a lot more intervention. He had to send another brother to get favor amongst the king from the source. And he did that. And that's a whole other story and a whole other chapter. Follow Isupk Las Vegas on YouTube and Facebook. Don't miss these classes, man. I'm begging you. We break down something. We break down too much. Especially if you got me and Officer Bakar. It's going to be a very crazy class. You know what I'm saying? Bakar got the breakdowns, man.
And I will be joining, Officer Shalamar with that Ezra's breakdown, because that's a powerful breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get into that book because, listen, we want to learn the Lord, man.
Man, come on.
You know what I'm saying? What's going on and prophecy and all these things, man. Ezra was a powerful priest and prophet who loved his people.
So stay tuned.
Really.
That's like, go ahead. I won't cut you off.
No, go ahead. She said, I'm waiting with my husband. Oh, no worries, sis. Shalom, sis. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. Look, tune in. Always tune in.
If I may.
Tell your husband, if I don't know I forget what zone you in, make sure you watching.
She watching with her husband.
Oh, man, Most High Christ. Man.
Tell your husband to contact us, man. We here in the Las Vegas zone at 612 South Jones Boulevard. Follow us on Facebook. You can message us on Facebook on this page, Isupk Las Vegas. Tell your husband to contact us, because guess what? If you are a Black, Hispanic, or Native American couple, you matter to God. And guess what? The Lord does not need you. but we need you. You understand? We need you, sis. And whatever your husband's name is, I'm really talking to him. We need you. You see what I'm saying? And I pray that you contact us and see exactly what it is that you can do to further assist your people the way that we are doing everything in our ability to further assist our people. You see what I'm saying? Let's keep reading.
Verse 47.
Use that 47.
Every day his portion, and they sanctify holy things unto the
Read
Levites.
that from the top of the shop because like
Verse 47. And all Israel in the days of Zerubbabel
go ahead.
and in the days of Nehemiah
Mhm.
gave the portion of the singers and the porters every day his portion. And they sanctified holy things unto the Levites,
Go ahead.
and the Levites sanctified them unto the children of Aaron.
Because we understand that the children, so like the tribe of Levi at the time, they were the priests during this time. Of course, now any tribe can be a priest since Christ came. That's a whole other breakdown. Go to verse 13, chapter 13.
So let's get through. So like 13, let's get it. We're gonna read this all the way through too as well. We have time to do so. Let's get it.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, beginning at verse 1. On that day, they read in the book of Moses in the audience of the people, and therein was found written that the Ammonite and the Moabite should not come into the congregation of God forever.
The Bible is so racist.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Because
Okay, you gonna
I'm gonna kick it off with this. I'm gonna pass right to you. That just goes to show, like, listen, everybody's not welcome amongst you. Stop being so goddamn friendly.
Come on.
Stop letting everybody be walking among you and you hanging out with your friends. You gotta understand, back in these times, we understood the law. You understand? We understood that these heathens could not be accepted in the congregation amongst us. You understand? They couldn't be around you. They couldn't hang around. They can't come, you understand, in the fold.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? They wasn't, like you said, the Bible is a book about the Israelites and only the Israelites and our interactions with other nations. And when we did interact with them, they weren't allowed in our congregation. They weren't allowed amongst us. You understand? They couldn't just sit with you. They can't be in class right here. They can't come to the cookout. Hey,
Right.
The water to the Midwest priest of mayhem, man.
That's right.
Captain made sure that he provided for the whole Chicagoland area. You know what I'm saying?
A miracle is what he did.
A glorious week, basically. You understand? They gave full of knowledge. You understand? And ended with a goddamn amazing meal. You know what I'm saying? For all blacks, Hispanics, and Hispanics.
You remember that?
Fuck all blacks, Hispanics, and natives. You understand? So just remember, they can't come to the cookouts.
Right.
The Moabites, the Ammonites, you know what I'm saying? The Canaanites, all of these so-called. Listen, there's 18 nations on this earth. You understand? And these heathen nations, they are not the same as you. All these people teaching that there's one God and that you know there is one God, but I'm saying that there's one people and we're all children of God.
We are the same. We are human.
Not true. You're reading right here in the Bible. They didn't allow for the Moabites and the goddamn Ammonites to come into the congregation. Not just one nation. Those are two nations, that couldn't come. But that goes for any other nation that's not a part of the nation of Israel. You understand? And we're doing this. We're showing you this in the Bible because a lot of people forget that and they get caught up in their coworkers and their best friend, their nail tech, the one that do their hairs, and you know, who sell them clothes. Or that's because they do a nice gesture. Does not mean that they can come to your cookout and they should be allowed in your house. You should be congregating with them. You should be hanging out with them, all because they were kind to you. Think about all the kind people that killed people. You understand? Have you not ever thought that this is how a killer would subdue his victim? You understand? Is to be kind to them. That's all. If that's all it takes for someone to just share a couple kind words and be nice to you, and you let them in the congregation. And now you got them around your children. They become molesters and they kidnap your kids, or you bring them around your household and they bring drugs around you. You understand? They introduce you to a way of life that goes against the Most High power. You understand? It goes against the law, statutes, and commandments. You have to think about all these things before you just accept someone who's just kind to you. You understand? Because at the end of the day, we have rules and we have, you know what I'm saying, structure in our organization and amongst our people. And that's what Nehemiah understood, and that's what the people during this time understood. That these people could not just walk up on us and just sit with us, and eat with us, and hang with us. They can want to be like us all. They can dress and talk the lingo and do all the things, all they want, but they're not one of you. You understand?
Right.
The white man wants to say nigga so bad and wants to sit on it and wear cornrows and have gold teeth and chains and jewelry, but he is still not a nigga. You know what I'm saying? No matter how many of you accept him, he is not your people. And he is still the enemy according to the most high power.
That's right. And if I may, this is what you have to understand. The God of the Bible, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a just God. Paraphrasing what the Bible says. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a just God. We don't not allow heathens in our congregation for no reason. There's a reason that they're not allowed in our congregation. There's a reason that the Lord turned his back on them. There's a reason that they can't come into the kingdom of heaven. There's a reason the white man is going to go into slavery. There's a reason that the Moabites are going to go into slavery. There's a reason that the Africans and the Hamites are going to go into slavery. There's a reason that they was not allowed into the priesthood at this particular time. You see what I'm saying? Because God is just and fair and righteous. He didn't turn his back on the other heathens for no reason. He didn't prefer us for just no reason. He made a decision based on the actions of every other nation of people. Who thinks I'm lying? When I hear people say, what about the Chinese? For those who don't know, the Ammonites are the Japanese. The Moabites are the Chinese. They are not allowed in the priesthood. Is that racist?
That's just.
I believe it's 100% just. You want to know why? Read the next verse.
Verse 2.
Go ahead.
Because they met not the children of Israel with bread.
They did what?
They met not the children of Israel with bread and with water.
What didn't Japanese and Chinese people do?
They met not with the children of Israel with bread and with water.
They didn't welcome us with open arms. When we needed their help, they met not your forefathers and foremothers with bread and with water. You see what I'm saying? They had a chance, but they met not the children of Israel bread and with water. They didn't give us shelter or food or solitude. How dare you try to tell me that I'm wrong for not giving their children today food at our cookouts? We're going to do it. We're going to give you a damn hot dog. We're going to give you a heathen baby a hot dog because you want to know why? We're better than you. But you don't deserve it. You don't deserve the mercy that we give you. And why? Why don't you deserve the mercy we give you? Read it again.
Because they met not the children of Israel with bread and with water.
Because when we needed your help, when my grandmother was thirsty and hungry from her travels, you did not give her bread and water. Keep reading.
But hired Balaam.
But you did what?
But hired Balaam.
You hired another nation that had great power and authority. Go ahead.
Against them.
To destroy my forefathers and my forebears.
Right.
That's the reason that we are against the heathen nations that we are against. When you read the book of Psalms, chapter 83, and it's telling you all of the nations that are our enemies and all the nations that King David was praying that God destroyed. That was because of the things that they did to us first. First. We don't sit there and say that no one can enter into the kingdom of heaven except for the Black, Hispanics, and Americans for no reason. You betrayed the trust of my forefathers. You sought out to murder. You were confederate against. They were confederate against you. You better understand that. Don't think that these people are your allies. They hate you, and they hate you because it's in their blood. The forefathers hated you 10,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, 600 BC. Nehemiah realized that the forefathers are the people who told us, if you grew up in Los Angeles, they said, hurry up and buy. They told us to hurry up and buy because that's what they did back then in 600 BC. They hired other tribes to destroy us. Keep reading.
Against them, that they should curse them.
They should do what?
That they should curse them.
Let me not be long-winded. Keep reading.
Howbeit, our God turned the curse into a blessing.
Did what?
Turned the curse into a blessing.
Did what?
Turned the curse into
Get a look. He turned the curse into a blessing. But guess what I realize now? No one outside of preaching officer Bakar's family will ever love me. No one outside of preaching officer Tyler Ward's family will ever give a damn about me. And those are both families that serve God. I can't go to the God of Buddha. I can't go to the people that serve Allah. I can't go to the people that believe in Christianity. I can't go to the people that believe in anything other than the culture and the system and the law of my ancestors.
Damn right.
So I thank God that I found that I should become the commander general, because the Lord looked at me, and for whatever reason that I don't understand, He saw me worthy of turning my curse into what? Into a blessing. You better, I pray you understand He did the same goddamn thing for you. And don't ever look me in the eyes when we at camp and say, well, what about the white man? What about white people? Can they come to the... No. Keep reading. Let me not be long.
Now it came to pass, when they had heard the law, that they separated from Israel all the mixed multitude.
Oh my
They
God.
got them weirdos out. You are a traitor. You are a plague. You don't belong. Understand that the priesthood of God, the royalty of God, is only meant to govern the earth. That's the point. That's why we have laws and statutes and commandments, so that we can be an example to the Moabites, to the Ammonites, to the Hamites, to the Kishites, to the Canaanites, to every other goddamn thing. That's not Israelite. You see what I'm saying? We are to be an example. So you can't be here because you're the type of heathen that will try to destroy us. Keep us like,
And that goes for sure for all you Christians talking about the mixed multitude,
oh,
how everybody can be saved. We separated from the mixed multitude.
Damn right.
We separated from all these other nations, all these other races of people. You understand? We wasn't a part of that mixed multitude. Everybody talking about, oh, the mixed multitude is going to be saved and the Lord is going to save them. No. In the time of Nehemiah, the mixed multitude was something that represented wickedness and inequity. You understand?
That's right.
We are
A stain.
A stain on our nation. You understand? We were never supposed to mix with anyone. We were always supposed to stand alone and be a nation, a solitude nation. You understand? That was to serve the Lord in solidarity. You understand? And holiness. Holiness means to separate. We were always supposed to be a separate nation amongst them.
That's
what I'm
right.
saying.
Keep reading.
Verse 4, and before this, Elisha the priest, having the oversight of the chamber of the house of our God, was allied unto Tobiah.
Keep reading.
Verse 5, and he had prepared for him a great chamber, where aforetime they laid the meat offerings, the frankincense, and the vessels, and the tithe of the corn, the new wine, and the oil, which was commanded to be given to the Levites and the singers and the porters.
Drop down to verse 8. All that saying is, I remember when you built up our temple in Jerusalem, and Nebuchadnezzar came and ransacked our temple. We used to do these things, and they came and destroyed our temple. And during the times of our lives, what did they do? They shoved pork in our ancestors' mouths, and they cooked pork on our altars that was meant for glorious things. And they burned our frankincense, and they had all manner of wicked fornication in our temple just to defile it, because they knew we was against those things. Drop down to verse 8.
Verse 8, and he grieved me sore. Therefore I cast forth all the household stuff to buy out of the chamber.
Go ahead.
Verse 9, then I commanded, and they cleansed the chambers, and thither brought I again the vessel of the house of God with the meat offerings and the frankincense.
Drop down. Everybody understands, right? Keep reading.
Verse 10, and I perceived that the portions of the Levites had not been given them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work.
Hold on.
Let everyone to his fiddle.
Stop there. Let me see. Jump into verse 14.
Verse 14, remember me.
Do what?
Remember me.
Do what?
Remember me.
I could drop tears reading this verse. I could drop absolute tears. When you think about all the things that you've been through, when you think about all the pain and the suffering that you have experienced. Read that again.
Remember me.
Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Oh, who?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Please remember me. I have remembered you. I pray that I'm worthy enough to be remembered. Keep reading.
Concerning this, and wipe not out my good deeds.
I have done everything in my power to get in your good graces.
Damn
I
right.
have done everything in my power, everything in my ability to prove that I am loyal to you. Please don't wipe out my good deeds. I know that I don't deserve your grace. But I pray you remember me. I pray you remember my son. I pray you remember my house. I pray you remember that I'm trying to be worthy. Keep reading.
You gotta, and
So, like,
you
go ahead.
gotta think of all the steps that Nehemiah took,
Mm-hmm.
just like he said, to get in the good graces of the Lord, man. Like cleansing out the house, like building the wall, uniting the people under an oath and a covenant amongst each other to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, bringing back the feast days and all of these things. All of this just to get the recognition of the Most High, because he understood that without his mercy, they would be destroyed in this captivity.
Right.
This is what we got to understand. We have to do all these things, the same thing, the steps that Nehemiah took, we have to take today. We have to do each and everything, every little thing to get back into the good grace of the Lord for us to be delivered out of this captivity. Because if we don't, then the Lord is just in, passing down his judgment upon us. You know what I'm saying? If we're not taking the necessary steps, and like Nehemiah, he's pleading with the Lord, he's praising, he's telling the Lord all of these things and showing and doing everything to get back into that good grace with the Most High, because he understood that the Lord has power over his body and what happens to him, and if he's going to allow for these heathens to destroy him and to continue to rule over him.
That's
You
right.
understand? And Nehemiah understood that, and we should understand that right now, that the only way for us to get out of this captivity, we can't vote our way out. There's no way we're going to vote for the just heathen to be upon us, to be over us. You understand?
That's right.
There is no way. There is no way. We have to turn back to the Lord. If you're not turning back to the Lord, then there is no way that you're going to come up out of this and the success. There's no way to win this game in America. You know what I'm saying? To play this game and win, because they're not going to play fairly. They run this system. You understand? They created the system. There's no way for you to get your justice. You understand? So this is what we taking these necessary steps, like Nehemiah did, making the sacrifices, doing our due diligence, double checking, going the long route. You know what I'm saying? Whatever route we have to take to show and plead with the Most High to save us, to give us grace, to give us mercy. You know what I'm saying? To deliver us out of this captivity, we have to be willing to do just like Nehemiah did. He was willing to try every avenue, and we got to look to that and understand that we have to be willing to give up everything that we love, all of the wickedness that we thought that was going to get us to where we wanted to be in life. Let's give it up, serve the Lord, and rely on the Lord to deliver us from whatever poverty, whatever situation we in.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We cannot take matters in our own hands. We have to center everything around serving the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got your life centered around serving the Lord and putting the Lord first, and you understand, and making these covenants and making these oaths to serve and do the best that your absolute best at becoming a new creature and serving the Most High, man, then just don't expect the results that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Because without doing these things that Nehemiah did, that's why we look to Nehemiah, because he did everything he had to do. That's what I'm saying. He understood the importance of sacrificing and changing the people and galvanizing the people and bringing them all together. You know what I'm saying? And all of these things, you know what I'm saying? Just to get the Lord's to get the Lord's attention, man. You understand? Come on, keep moving.
Go ahead, read 15.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, verse 15. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
On what?
Treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
On the what?
On the Sabbath.
On the Sabbath. This is so for me, right? For me, coming into the truth, this is one of the most important stories of all time. This is one of the stories that I heard time and time again when I was 7, 8, or 9 years old. Nehemiah, in his zeal, once he realized the power he was supposed to be serving, he was zealous over God. He was a fool for the Lord. And he saw people bringing in what?
Treading wine presses on the Sabbath.
Go ahead.
And bringing in sheaves and lading asses,
Mm-hmm.
as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens.
All manners of what?
All manner of burdens.
Go ahead.
which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day.
Why the hell would they do that in a million years? Why would they do that? You see what I'm saying? Now, what was happening here was a lack of zeal. Because he already called out all the heathens, he already called out all the wicked, he already called everybody that didn't belong there. But because they did not have the zeal that Nehemiah had, what did they do? They profaned the Sabbath day. They wasn't supposed to be working and doing anything for profit or for no selfish gain or reason on the Sabbath day, but they were doing it anyways. And Nehemiah saw firsthand the reason that the Lord has such wrath. He said, God damn, that's what zeal is. You know that pain you feel when you see somebody lighting up a blunt? When it's like, what the fuck are you doing? That pain you feel when you see somebody putting pork in their mouth. And you know they shouldn't be doing that. Imagine that raised tenfold, because I just proved and showed to y'all in the eyes of God that He gonna help us build this nation. And what was they doing? They were profaning the Sabbath day. Keep reading. And I
Testified against them in that day, wherein they sold victuals.
They sold. You're not supposed to buy or sell during the Sabbath day. Now, people who don't know the Bible will tell you that means you can't go to, Walmart or cook or something on Sabbath. That's not what that's saying. What that is saying is you should not have servants working on a Sabbath day. There shouldn't be people having a hauling asses into Jerusalem on this day. They should be resting. There's a leader of the people who are asses. There's a leader of the people that's selling all of these goods. And we read that back in verses 10 through 12, who those people were. Why the hell are these workers working doing these things when they should be able to relax today? He was absolutely furious. Keep reading.
Verse 16. There dwell men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem.
Y'all get the point. 17.
Verse 17. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, what evil thing?
With the nobles of who?
With the nobles of Judah.
He went, this is how you know that it's not a sin to go to Walmart on a Sabbath day. Because who did he go to? Say it again.
The nobles of Judah.
He went to the people that had them hauling in the asses and selling and picking the grapes. These were employees. You see what I'm saying? These people were employed by the nobles of Judah. The law states that you should not have your servants working. If you want to go forth and sell a t-shirt out of your own pocket, do that. But it is illegal in the eyes of God for me to make one of you do that for me on a Sabbath day. You see what I'm saying? So he went to the nobles who was in charge and said, what?
What evil thing is this that ye do?
What weird type of timing are y'all on? This is weird and evil. Keep reading.
And profane the Sabbath day.
You did what?
And profane the Sabbath day.
Profane the Sabbath day. Y'all disgust me. You're profaning the word of God. Keep reading.
Verse 18. Did not your fathers thus? And did not our God bring all this evil upon us?
He said, brother, do you not see the situation we in?
Right.
Because of this type of timing that y'all on right now? Did y'all not understand why did I stand up on the pulpit with what's the priest that was there? Ezra and who else? And Zechariah. Why was I standing up there? Why did we go through all of this? And once we got our own land, y'all was gonna do the same thing. You have to recognize the pattern of our oppression. It's the same pattern from Adam and Eve on down. We get our instruction and we go against our instruction. Nehemiah was not going for it on this day. He was fed. My blood is starting to boil just thinking about it. My blood is starting to boil. Keep it excited. Go ahead.
Too, understanding that he understood that every sin matters. Like, don't get around and think of that. He's looking at it like, just by you doing this on the Sabbath, do you not know why are you trying to provoke the Lord against us again? Like we're trying to come. They're moving in two different directions. He's trying to raise up a nation of people and heal them and cleanse them and get everything restored to the order. You know what I'm saying? And he knows is the righteous order that's going to bring the people to be a great people. And people are profaning the Sabbath and doing the little things. We're going to get into more of the things that they're doing that's going to bring more wrath upon them. And that's just what we're trying to do right now.
Unnecessary wrath.
You got to put yourself in the same situation. While we're trying to get people off drugs, it's people that's confusing the people. The Christian church out here, we're trying to stop child molestation. The Christian church is condoning child molestation. You know what I'm saying? They're hiding child molestation. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to get people out of homosexuality. The Christian church is embracing homosexuality.
Come on.
You understand? We're looking at you like, what are you doing? Are you not trying? Why are you trying to keep us in wrath? Make the Lord wrath be fired upon us more. Like we're trying to do. We understand what gets the Lord to take away His wrath. You understand? You're bringing more wrath to us, and that's the whole message that we're trying to display. Put yourself in these times right now. We're the men of the Lord. We're just like Ezra. We're just like Nehemiah. Where we're trying to get the people to come away from their transgressions, so the Lord's wrath, and we can have a sense of rest from the Lord's wrath, from the evil that's being upon us. You know what I'm saying? From the vengeance, from the judgment.
Damn right.
These people want to continue in sin, to continue to have the wrath bestowed upon us, to see more people die, to see more wickedness, to see more people, you know what I'm saying, go through trials and tribulations and go through hardships and hard times. For what? You understand? When we should be serving the Most High God and trying to come up out of this. We cannot be moving in two different directions. Everybody has to move in the same direction. You understand? If you're not trying to move in the, give me one body, one scripture, one Lord, one faith. We have to be all of that. Somebody pull that precept from me. You know what I'm saying? Bible Kashab. Because we all have to move in one direction. It should be one faith, one body. You understand? One Christ. Give me that. Bible Kashab.
That's 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. Bible Kashab.
Yeah, read that. Read that when you got it. Well, we got it. You got it, so I'm gonna read that. Read it.
Come on.
Well,
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 12 and verse 12. For as the body is one, many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body.
man, this is what we're going through. This is what they were going through. They're one body. They're all Israelites. You understand? They're all the children of Israel. That's one body. But we have many members. We have many pieces to that body. And all members should be doing what?
All members of that one body, being many, are one body.
Man.
So also,
Go ahead, Kiri.
so also is Christ.
Listen, we are all one body according to the so-called, you know what I'm saying, according to the Bible. You know what I'm saying? We all are one body according to Christ. You understand? We are all members of that body, and we all should be following our King Christ. It shouldn't be nobody who's doing something different. If I tell you it's not righteous for you to have sex with heathens, then don't have sex with heathens.
Damn right.
There is no, oh, I do, love is love. You can't have a separate opinion. You're not entitled to your own thoughts and your own.
Come on, man.
You
Damn
understand?
right.
There's one body, and you are a member of this body.
And you are not the head of this body. You're not the
Right.
mind of this body. You're not the genius behind this body. Christ is the genius behind this body. The Lord is the genius behind this body, and they set the foundation. And you don't get to have an opinion or a thought process outside of what God ordained. And so many of our grandmothers and grandfathers and cousins and everyone else, that's what they don't understand. They think that their experience is unique only unto them. And they think that because of what it is they've been through, what it is they feel, they can do what it is they want to do. No, you can't. You did not get hung upon a tree like my king did. You did not take the worst beating of all time the way my king did to spare your wicked life. You didn't do that. Maybe if you did, maybe you stood before me in a time of my calamity and you took a beating or a burden. Maybe I'll take into consideration the things that come out of your mouth. But until you do that, I'm going to follow Christ. I'm going to be a part of the one body because I would not be here otherwise. Let's keep reading because we almost
Keep
got
reading. We'll get through this.
Verse 18, did not your fathers bring thus? Did not your fathers thus? And did not our God bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
He said, come on, man. God damn. We done been through this already. Keep reading.
Verse 19, and it came to pass that when the gates of Jerusalem began to be dark before the Sabbath,
Mind you, he already gave them a warning. Keep reading.
I commanded that the gates should be shut.
He said, shut the gates because that is what we should do. We should not have income. We should not work. We shouldn't work anybody on the Sabbath day. mind you, in these gates, it is only the children of Israel. Don't work the children of Israel on the Sabbath. Keep reading.
And charged that they should not be open till after the Sabbath.
Go ahead.
And some of my servants,
Some who?
and some of my servants
Okay.
set I at the gates, that there should not be burden, that there should no burden be brought in on the Sabbath day.
They were very clear about the law of God. He was a leader, and he made sure that his servants spread the word. Keep reading.
Verse 20. So the merchants and sellers of all kind of ware lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
They did what?
Lodged without Jerusalem once or twice.
That means they snuck and they put their business through the gate anyway. They heard they got the order. Okay, we can't work today. I don't know what that nigga talking about. Hey, he ain't gonna be paying attention. Go ahead and nigga make that deal, make that sell. Once or twice. Ain't no big deal. What's the big deal? Keep reading.
Verse 21. Then I testified again.
Then he got word that this is what the hell they was doing. And he went and confronted them. Go ahead.
And said unto them.
Now understand, this is one of the blackest verses of all time. This is one of the most nigga verses I've ever heard. This is one of my favorite verses in the scripture of all time. This is one of the blackest things. This is how you know that the Israelites without hearing that Christ was black and his feet was bronze and all that. The verbiage, keep reading.
Why not he about the law?
He said, hold on, nigga. Why you go and do that thing I told you not to do? Why the hell you went and went against what I said? Didn't I say not to do that? Why lie to you about the wall? Go ahead.
If you do so again,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this. You do that one more time, I dare you. Go ahead.
I'll lay hands on you.
I do what?
I will lay hands on you.
I do what?
I will lay hands on
I'm gonna
you.
lay hands on you, nigga. You think I'm playing with you? I'm gonna take your life. Hey, he said, hold on, nigga. Hey, nah, come here. Nah, you good? Come here. I said, hey, why lie to you about the wall? Didn't I say that nobody should go in or out? Let me tell you something. Do it one more time. I'm gonna put hands on your dumb ass. Play with me if you want to.
hands.
You're gonna catch these hands. Play with me if you want to. This is a book.
That's how you know it's niggas.
This is a book.
Only niggas say that.
Spits and
I'm
facts.
You gonna catch these hands.
You gonna catch these hands.
This again.
I'm gonna lay hands on you. And just so you know, laying hands with somebody during biblical times, it meant a lot more than what it means to us today. He was saying to his brothers who was betraying the law of God, he was telling them he was gonna kill them. He said, I'm gonna take your life and I'm gonna do it myself. I am gonna take the burden upon myself to kill you. You wanna know why? Because like Carl said earlier, your sin only affects you. Your sin affects all of us. Your sin affects your family. People don't realize that because you get high, the Lord will kill your mother and your father.
Right.
They don't think like that. They don't realize that the shrimp that you're consuming and the Christmas you're celebrating will cause the people you love to die and suffer. And you won't know why. He said, you do so again, if you risk that again, I'm gonna lay hands on you. Keep reading.
From that time forth,
From that time, hey, the message got across. Keep reading.
came they no more on the Sabbath.
Go ahead.
Right.
Verse 22. And I commanded the Levites that they should cleanse themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and that they should come and keep the gates to sanctify the Sabbath day. Remember me, oh my God, concerning this also, and spare me according to the greatness of thy mercy.
Listen, he understood. He said, look, remember, I was willing to do all this, God.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one willing to be a catalyst, you understand, and put hands on people and lay people down and do what I got to do just to keep the Sabbath holy. You understand? Remember me, Lord.
Please
Remember me. Please spare me. Listen, spare me. And all I know I don't deserve, you know what I'm saying, salvation, but spare me if you can. If there is any ounce of goddamn mercy that you have, Lord, put it on me, because I was willing to do all this for you, to profane that, to keep that Sabbath, holy, and keep that day clean. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
These next scriptures are so very important. Keep reading, please.
Verse 23. In those days also saw the Jews that had married wives outside
Go ahead.
of Edom
Go ahead.
and of Moab.
Come on. This is so familiar. He said, in those same days, I'm seeing my people, even all that said, they marrying Japanese women and they marrying Chinese women. And I'm like, damn, after everything I went through, now he's understanding the pain that Moses felt. Keep reading.
Verse 24. and their children speak half in the speech of Ashdod,
Now they speak in the speech of our enemies. Go ahead.
Yeah.
and cannot speak in the Jews' language.
And they can't even speak in the language that the Lord gave us. Because why? Taking on these motherfucking devil's culture. Keep reading.
And if I may, that's where we at right now. We can't even speak Hebrew, but we can speak
English.
English. And it's not our fault. Back in those times, it all stimulated from the same thing, right? It come from them marrying into these other nations and them losing their identity. You have lost your identity by the hands of your enemies, but in those days they willingly did it. You understand? Because Nehemiah was trying to restore them to their language, to their identity, and they chose to still go with the other nations, man. That's how much wickedness was in that land, man, at that time. Just imagine that. That's how much wickedness that was going on. They had someone fighting tooth and nail to deliver them from it, and they still chose to go with their enemies and marry them. Nehemiah did all that. Like he said, keep reading.
Keep reading.
Verse 25.
Verse 25.
Verse 25. And I contended with them.
This was the type of man that Nehemiah was. Go ahead.
And cursed them.
I cursed the people that turned their backs on God. Go ahead.
And smote certain of
And
them.
I took their lives from them.
Man.
Because you don't deserve your life.
Damn
And
right.
everything that we've been through to preserve the lives of this one body. You are a plague on one body. So I'm going to smite you. That's what Nehemiah was. Go ahead.
And plucked off their hair.
And plucked off their hair. Go ahead.
And made them swear
And I tortured them and made them swear by God. Go ahead.
by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons.
You should not give your daughters unto their sons. This is not we read in the book of Deuteronomy. He studied to show himself approved, and he physically enforced the law. We live in the time where the Lord doesn't require you to physically enforce the law. You want to know why? Christ died. Christ wasn't here in the time of Nehemiah. He has to do it himself. He had to go to his neighbors, to his brothers, to his sisters, to the people he grew up with. He had to slit their throats to prove that he was Lord of God. You don't have to do those things. You better be glad you have to do those things, because you would never want to take the lives of your auntie or your cousin or your brother or your sister, because they're wicked bastards. So you better understand the mercy that you are under here in the captivity of America. Keep reading.
Nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourself.
Verse 26.
Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
He said, didn't we go through this already? Didn't. Like we said earlier, we opened up in the book of Romans chapter 15, saying that the things that were written aforetime for our learning. He said, did not one of our ancestors already make this mistake? Why are we repeating the same goddamn mistake, man? Ask yourself that as a drug addict, as someone who gets high. Ask yourself that as someone who celebrates the traditions and the holidays of all of the heathen. As someone who celebrates your birthday and sleep with whores and do all manner of wickedness. Keep reading.
Yet among many nations was there no king like him.
And he was a great king. He was powerful, but it didn't matter how great, how powerful he was. That didn't matter, because he did not obey the law of God. Keep reading.
Who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel.
And he was worthy of being the king. Keep reading.
Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin.
Go ahead.
27. Shall we then hearken to you to do all this great evil,
Evil. Keep reading.
to transgress against our God and marrying strange wives?
He said, let's not repeat the same pattern, man. Someone that the Lord saw worthy of ruling all Israel. He married these heathen wives, and it turned his heart against the Lord. Who the hell do you think you are? Stop sleeping with them. Stay away. Keep reading.
Verse 28.
Keep reading.
Verse 28. And one of the sons of Joadiah, the sons of Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat, the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me.
Go ahead. Keep reading.
Read all the way through.
Remember then, oh my God, because they have to follow the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Verse 30. That I cleansed them from all strangers and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, everyone in his business.
Come on.
Verse 31. And for the wood offering.
For the what?
And for the wood offering.
Keep reading.
At times appointed. And for the first fruits.
For the what?
For the first fruits.
We got the Feast of First Fruits coming up September 21st. Right here at 612 South Jones Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. Go ahead.
Remember me, oh my God, we're good.
Give Nehemiah.
Say Nehemiah, man, listen, he understood where everybody erred before him. He understood coming out of Egypt where they erred. He understood the marrying unto heathen nations. All of these people erred, and he did not want that for his people. But just like we cannot want it for our people are going to continue in sin if we do not keep fighting.
That's right.
And he kept fighting. He said, remember me, oh God. He understood that he fought for his people. He wasn't going to go down without a goddamn fight, even if it meant for him to kill, you understand, and smite his people, do whatever it takes. And that's what you got to have, that same goddamn spirit to do whatever it takes. You don't have to kill no one. Kill that old you. Kill the old man. Kill the old woman. You understand? That's who you kill. That's who you smite. You understand? That old you that used to get high, that used to, do whatever manner of wickedness, kill that person. Don't go out and kill them. We're not telling nobody to kill your people for their iniquity, right? We're telling you to kill that old person that was full of iniquity. You understand? And have that same zeal that Nehemiah had for his people and raise up this nation. And that's what we're doing in this school right now. We're raising up a nation of people to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, you understand? And to fight for the rest of us who are weak. You know what I'm saying? Who are weak, who cannot fight for themselves. You understand? Who do not have the zeal that you have. We're going to keep fighting for them to the end. That's what I'm saying. And with that, we're going to pass the class over to Precinct Officer Toss Ward.
This is the ISUPK security announcement. We are the ISUPK starting at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are also to be saluted only. They are here to shake themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18 and 21, Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, which means tenth in the Hebrew, Maserah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department of Teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations.
Upcoming holy convocations, like I said, September 21st, we have a high holy day. And if you're in the Las Vegas zone, we're going to be here at 612 South Jones Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada. Contact ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, you know what I'm saying, to make sure you know exactly where to congregate, what time to be here, and what you ought to bring. If you're in another zone, go out of your way to reach out to the camp leaders of your zone to figure out what you should do. Go ahead.
Men of Israel, like you.
If you want to be a trooper in the school, make sure you wear all black headbands, shirt, pants, boots, and scarf. You see what I'm saying? And with that, go ahead.
Men of Israel, Elijah. We'll give one courtesy look to the teacher. Elijah Shabbat. Elijah Rob. Yahweh Bashimi Ashab Rakadam.
Yahweh Bashimi Ashab Rakadam. You're going to say Yajamata?
Yajamata.
Which means at ease. Go ahead. You're going to say dismissed.
Class dismissed.
Most high in Christ. Tune in next time, Israel.